but there's a positive aspect to this commandment as well, okay? It's not just about avoiding misuse of God's name. It's about actively honoring it. And so Jesus, again, he taught us to pray, hallowed be your name, Matthew 6:9. To hallow something means to make it holy, to treat it as sacred. So how do we actively hallow God's name in our lives? We hallow God's name when we praise him, when we declare his goodness, when we declare his faithfulness, his love. We're lifting up his name. This is why worship is so important. It's not just singing, but it's declaring the worth of God. We hallow God's name also when we trust him, right? When we rely on his promises, when we step out in faith, we're saying to the world that this God is trustworthy. His name is reliable. Next, we hallow God's name when we obey him, right? Jesus said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments in John 14:15. Our obedience shows that we value God's authority, that we respect his name. And next, we hallow God's name when we represent him accurately to others, when we show things like love and grace and truth to the world around us. We're honoring the name of Christ that we bear as his representatives in this world. Next, we hallow God's name when we stand for truth and when we stand for righteousness, when we speak up against things like injustice, when we defend the vulnerable. We're aligning ourselves with God's character and honoring his name. I mean, think about the example of Daniel and his friends in Babylon, right? They hallowed God's name by refusing to bow to idols, by maintaining their integrity in a wickedly pagan culture. And so their lives, as a result of that, were a testament to the power and the faithfulness of God. Or consider the early Christians who were known as people who cared for the poor, who loved their enemies, who lived lives of remarkable purity. They hallowed God's name by living in a way that made others ask things like, what is it that makes these people different? And this is our calling too. We're called to be people whose lives cause others to glorify our Father in heaven, Matthew 5:16. This is what it means to hallow God's name.